everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's in the Tube, or welcome back if this is your 5th Season 3 episode review for The Rookie. It's been a very long 2 weeks. We had our usual hiatus and then a usual, break week, and then we had Super Bowl Sunday, which, I'm going to be honest with you, as much as I love The Rookie so much, and I had Sal over, social distance, mask, the whole 9 yards. I only have one person here, so before you say anything about that, we were safe. Everything was fine, but the thing is that I missed The Rookie, but I definitely would not have tuned off the Super Bowl just to watch The Rookie. No offense. So they made the right choice to be off the air that night. A lot of other shows that I watched were off the air that night too. So nothing happened that Sunday. So here we are. We're back. It's Valentine's Day, so I hope everyone enjoyed their Valentine's Day. This is being posted the day after, but hope you had a great Valentine's Day weekend or just a great Valentine's Day in general. If you're wondering what the hell I was doing, I worked and I came home. That's basically my entire Valentine's Day and kind of sums up my last 23, 24 years of having Valentine's Days. But enough about pittiness. Let's get to The Rookie. It's been a while, and I honestly believe this was a really good one. This was really good. It brought, I think for now, it could have brought a storyline to a close, and also This kind of felt like something of it was like the beginning of a wake-up call for a lot of people. And I think the theme of this week was like doing the right thing always. And I think that was the theme for this week. And definitely they achieved it in all the storylines that we had. I mean, there were only 2 big storylines with a couple like mini ones that were surrounding the big one. I love it when it's an all hands on deck type of thing. And definitely the promos, from what I'm realizing off this season, they're not spoiling too much. Like, we get little hints, or we don't get to see the whole thing, or, like, the big things. Where, after we left the last cliffhanger where I'm standing... Also, if you're noticing, yeah, my hair is a little bit messed up this week since my bathrooms are currently both occupied, so I can't comb my hair, so I apologize. I apologize if the hair game is not as perfect as I usually try it to be. I'll be back to normal next week. So I definitely believe that the... What was I going to say? The episode was good because I literally lost my train of thought because I had to mention my hair. Because usually I'm very on point with my hair, and I always make sure every What's in the Tube has a great head of hair. Just not this week. Anyway, with that being said, let's get to the butchered recap and talk about this week's episode and really get into the meat of this. And yeah, let's go for it. So, funny story. I don't exactly know what the hell happened at the start since I was editing this week's Let Joe Talk. And then I looked at the clock, it was 10:03, I'm like, oh, fuck. Crud, crap, every curse word possible. I nearly forgot about The Rookie, and I was, like, so thankful I looked at the time, and I tuned in, and so I have no idea what hilarious, cold opening we got, so I apologize for that. Was it probably the best cold opening of the whole show? It probably would have been, and hopefully... I'll get to watch it on YouTube later, but there's nothing I could do on that front. So, anyway, where I started the episode was the results of Lopez's DNA results for the baby. As last episode, Wesley dropped the bombshell on her that there is a possibility that their baby might have this very specific... what's the medical term? A very specific gene or something that, not at the moment, but down the line, is going to create some sort of life-threatening disease that Wesley's going to have to deal with at some point later on as well, and that the baby might do as well. But as of the moment, for the test result, the baby is currently showing negative for it, so that's pretty good for them. Obviously, of course, the pregnancy is still in its early stages, so hopefully... hopefully it doesn't become an issue down the line, but, there is still very much of a chance that, hey, it could be an issue down the line, for them. But, at least in the moment, it's all cleared out and, everything's pretty much fine. Nolan is studying for the I can't speak English. The extra exam he has to take in order to rectify, well, not rectify, but at least kind of prove himself a little bit more. After the events of the season 2 finale, season 3, the whole Damn, I already forgot his name. Oh my god, it's been so long. And then we already wrapped it up, and I'm like, oh damn, the season 2 finale and season 3 premiere, like that whole issue, like that's he's studying for that. Harper plays a little bit of a prank on him by like saying like you're too stressed. You gotta let the stress out. You gotta shake it off, and no one actually shakes it off. And I'm like, damn, Nolan, you are very gullible. I don't know what's wrong with you. But it was actually pretty much of a good laugh, and I think this is the first time we've been back in the bullpen for a while. Obviously, not with the full crowd, not with the full, team on staff there, because obviously I have to say this again for now, the 5th week in a row, COVID. So, at least we're getting something. We're easing it back into it. Meanwhile, I forget that is. Chen and Bradford are coming into the station. They run into Doug, and of course, obviously, it's nearly up into war, up into battle. It's like, yeah, damn, these two are not happy at Doug. Neither would I would have been, and obviously, everyone's in a tough situation now since Doug filed a blue report on him. So that means there is now going to be an issue for Jackson down the line. But before Bradford and Chen can go up into arms, thankfully, the situation kind of dissipates for now. Sorry about that if you saw me sliding down there. I had an issue with my dad, but I got that rectified. Anyway, moving onwards. Doug goes off to talk to... Well, he meets up with Wes, and immediately I was expecting Wes to give him the cold shoulder. Believe me, I've given many cold shoulders at my coworkers whenever they screw me over somehow. But Wes is trying to be a little bit more nicer, trying to be more like, hey, look, let's start fresh. We're on the wrong foot here. Wes doesn't have that long left in his training. Let's just get through this. Let's just do like the whole, let's be good with each other. He's trying to be a man of peace, even though, yeah, Doug is a kind of a piece of crap at this point. But, Wes is trying to hold his own. He's trying to be a little bit more like, hey, look, we're all good. We can be good, somewhat. And then I think from then on, also Bradford and Chen have this little bit of a run-in with someone who is trying to... I think this could have been the cold open, because I highly doubt they just inserted her in here. There is something this girl does, something with cows, I want to think. I'm not sure exactly. They're having a running joke with her about her rights, and she's trying to be all this new, like, this is stuff that's like way after me, and I'm just thinking like, I don't even know anything about this, so I am not the expert here, but what I can tell you is that she was kind of cute. Point aside, Nolan finishes his test. He passes with a 98, so good job, Nolan. He becomes a little bit of a John, and it's like, hey, what did I get wrong? What was the only question I got wrong? And it's like, no, just, it's over. It's kind of done, but then, Gray immediately just drills into his head once again, like, this report, this issue you had is going to be on your record forever. Every lieutenant and commander and captain is going to know about this, and will most likely never put you in a level of promotion ever. So, and considering your age, I highly doubt you can outlast them. So, case in point, Nolan is basically stuck being on a surface level, just a regular cop. He can never move on. He can't be a detective. He can't be SWAT. He can't trust in any other department. So he's stuck there, and it kind of sucks because like Nolan's always the optimistic person. He's always trying to be hopeful that like there is a solution somewhere. There is something that could be done, but in this case, not right now. No. So this obviously bums out Nolan a little bit. So then we'll, considering the fact Harper is off for a court duty thing, I don't know why. I think I missed that. Also, there was another quick like little joke scene between Harper and the visiting. Well, I keep forgetting that technically Lopez is still in their same station. They're just in two different divisions now, so I just keep forgetting about that. They have a little funny rapport with the evidence room people. Apparently, the evidence room people cannot fraternize or socialize with cops, which I never really knew. I should have really paid more attention to my classes. So anyway, speaking of that, where do we go from here? So because Harper's can't be on duty today, Nolan's relegated to the Dex duty, and Chen and Bradford intervene when they drop off the the miscreant, the cute miscreant. They send her on her way, and like she's just demanding, like, hey, can you pay for my Uber ride? And I'm like, no. Like, what kind of cop is gonna pay for the Uber rides? And Uber rides are not expensive. I had to take some ones recently, and they're really not cheap. So, Nolan tells them the news that he passed, and Bradford kind of berates him a little bit. It's like, what, you were really expecting to still be detective after everything that happened? Like, no, that's not gonna happen. Before they can have a meaningful conversation, the girl once again gets into trouble by breaking into a freaking car on the lot of the police station. What was she expecting? But whatever. They arrest her. They bring her back into custody, and then while they're about to enter back in the station, Nolan hears a voice from someone else from the distance. But before I get to that subpoint, that's kind of where the cataclysm of the rest of the episode begins. Oh, no, wait, no, not just quite yet. Because there's a scene with Doug and Wes in the car. They're just trying to, they're trying to ease into some sort of peace mode somewhat. It's not really working so well, so it's very tense in that environment. But anyway, back to it. Yeah, so Nolan goes to check with this uniform delivery guy, but it turns out he has a gun. He tells Nolan to drop all of his belongings, anything that he can use to take him down. Brings him in the truck, cuffs him in, and it turns out there's a bomb in the car. So, well, not the car, the truck. And the guy's basically holding Nolan as a hostage. It's official. We have a hostage situation on our hand. That's right. Nolan is our hostage. Never in a million years I thought that would happen. But, so, he gets Nolan's walkie-talkie, and he manages to dispatch to Gray directly, saying that, look, I got the building surrounded. I got a bomb. There's enough explosives in here to just kill everyone in a 2-block radius. You're not allowed to leave your station. You got to stay in there. So stay put, and you have to demand the release of this prisoner from one of the from a prison. Yeah, there you go. So that's kind of his that's his negotiation tactics, so to speak. So Gray puts the entire station on lockdown, tells every non-essential personnel to go down to the garage area, including the cute miscreant. Then what else? Saying I'll be held hostage. I'm sorry for the yawning. It's been a very long day for me. Very exhausting day. Nolan tries to reason with the guy. He's trying to be a little bit friendly with him, and the guy's like, I do not want to be your friend at all. Also, this guy's very familiar. I've seen him in something else before. I don't know the actor's name, but I've definitely seen him in something before. Can't put my finger on it. So from there on, Nolan's just assessing the situation. He's trying to figure out what he can do, so to speak, because he doesn't want to be a damsel in distress. That's not Nolan. He finds this rusty hole that's is kind of you can scratch through with your finger. It would be very painful, but I don't know. So everyone's trying to figure out what to do. I think this is where Lopez is dispatched, since she's the only one. She's one of the only detectives that's off site. She's off the station. Also, West and Doug are the only two that are the only cops that are also out of the station. So they're basically the only real law enforcement in this area. They're basically in charge, which is speaking because of Doug. It's oh no, we're screwed. Which, of course, obviously not too long. Well, not too long after. They meet up with SWAT. They talk, and Doug's like, you know what? Wes is a good kid. He's down. It's he wants to move to SWAT someday. And the commander's like, oh yeah, sure. Once this situation's over, let's come talk to me. Let's get you transferred over, or let's begin talks about potentially transferring you over. Which is this is not going to end well. This is severely not going to end well. But instead of Wes and Doug trying to help out with the proceedings of the situation, Doug's like, no. We're the only law enforcement in this area right now. We need to be there in case any crime occurs, in case someone decides to take advantage of the situation, which, for once, I kind of got to agree with Doug. Yeah, someone could hear. It's we could do whatever we want. There's no cops going to come. Or they're going to take so long to come. We can get away with it. So, for once, Doug has a point. I will not be saying that again. Actually, I'm going to get through the Doug and the West storyline. Well, majority of the storyline. So they head up, they run into some people that are working on an engine, and immediately Doug goes in to try and be a little bit more aggressive and violent than usual. Well, not usual, as usual. the guy's spouting some law facts because he's studying pre-law. But Doug's like, you know what? He takes out the baton, ready to teach him a lesson. Wes cannot stand by anymore. He can't be like this. He can't be someone cool with this. So he stands down Doug. He tells the other three to go away, and Doug like immediately, like every episode we just get something, like Doug just immediately rises on the rage level, and Doug's like, you know what, that's it. I'm gonna talk to the city manager. You're done. I'm putting you off the streets. Then, damn, I forgot. Wes brings up hey, look, I know you're gonna bring this up with IA, but guess what? My dad runs IA, so if you come for me, he's gonna come for you too, and he's gonna know a lot of other things. So Doug immediately kind of like batters down a little bit. He kind of like starts to weaken, like backs up a little bit, and so they kind of like reach that heated moment where it's like, okay, we can't really go anywhere else. We can't really progress on any side. So we're just going to like just ignore it for now, and they have another tense conversation in the car. It's like, oh no, they have a tense. Yeah, it's like, oh, when they're searching up something because they assume maybe there's a financial motive to the whole hostage situation. They hit up a near check cashing place, and Doug's like, look, we said some things you didn't really mean, and immediately Wes is like saying everything what everyone should. Like, no, you've been doing this for weeks now. You can't. That's not excusable. There is no excuse for what you did, and I totally agree. And Wes leaves, and I'm just seeing Doug's face in like that ending shot before I cut back over to the hostage situation, and Doug's like worrying as hell, and he's like, "Oh God, what is he gonna do? He's gotta do something because like Wes has an ace card now. He brought up the daddy card, which for good and bad reasons. So yeah, I mean, what's to do next? What are you gonna do next, Doug? So back to the hostage situation. Everyone's trying to scramble. But conveniently, no one uses the hole to send something out in Morsinger, which I'm like, maybe I should have went to the Boy Scouts. So Gray manages to decode it. They get a name. They match the people. They got the guy. Lopez goes to follow up with the prison guards because she's already on the outside, and yeah, that doesn't really turn up anything. Like, there's no real connection here between this guy and the other guy. Also, Scar Dude. I'm gonna call him Scar Dude because they mentioned he has a scar. He is a cancer treatment patient. He has the IV hole in his chest, and you can tell like this guy is really not feeling it as he actually collapses during the interrogation. No one can help him since he's already been handcuffed to the truck. But thankfully, between Nolan's like shaking up the truck, he actually shakes it. Oh, I was actually trying to be careful I don't hit my PS5. It's enough to wake him up and kind of like just bring back to the situation. So we're starting to see new evidence here. Like, we're getting other like witness information that like, oh yeah, he got out of jail. He was doing good. He met a girl. They were dating, and then then he got the cancer the diagnosis. He loses all of his money in the treatment. He starts a GoFundMe that immediately gets burned through in the money pretty quickly, and then yeah, he's going to be on the streets soon since he can't afford treatment anymore, and he can't even afford anything else because he's going to die, which kind of says a lot about our health system. Like, yeah, this guy's dying, but we're going to charge him up the ass, which is a whole nother conversation for a legit talk on another day or a podcast or something. But where was I going to go with this? Anyway, yeah, so moving onwards. Where was I going to go with this? So they get enough information, like they start trying to figure out like what is the motive here, because like if he has no real connection with the person, the inmate that he wants released, and there's not really any financial motive, there's nothing around the area is really getting majorly hit. Like, what's the reason? Chen comes up with the bright idea that, well, what if we're not like we've been focusing our attention on trying to figure out what the motive is outside than inside. So the girlfriend of this guy is the prime suspect since they've always been together. They've always never left each other's side, and any information they have on her is totally falsified. So they figure maybe she's already in the station. They assume the bougie cute convict was the one who did it, but she's like denying everything. But she wants to know the story. And as soon as they mention the fake alias for the woman, it turns it was also some woman from before who was trying to fill out this stolen bike report from Nolan earlier. I forgot to mention her. She immediately just grabs one of the freaking ID cards from a cop. And it's like, how did you? Oh my god! God. She manages to trap them inside the garage. She breaks the electrical panel that controls the ID card system. So she's in the station now. She's well inside there, and Harper goes in to find her. She finds her in the evidence room where she's trying to look for something, and it turns out the whole reason this whole situation is at play here is because she was a domestic abuse survivor, or she was one. She was being domestically abused by a boyfriend or someone in the someone very dangerous, and she was constantly getting hit and hurt. So she finally escaped 3 years ago, and she had a fake alias, started a whole new life, found new loves. Like, her life was basically good, but then the place where she worked had a robbery, and because of regular proceedings, they had to take a lot of things into evidence, which had her DNA. And once they put them in the system and they start IDing, who it was, so they could start eliminating who could potentially be the criminal, her real alias would have came up, and that guy would have came after her. So she had to get that thing off the system, so there's a chance that she could still be safe. So this has nothing to do with Scar Guy, with his financial situation. It just humanizes the criminals here. Like, well, obviously, A, you should not hold someone hostage, and B, there's a different way, like, to handle this. Like, then her reason for not going to the cops early was because he's got cops on payroll, and after the whole, Nick, was it Nick? I think it was Nick. Yeah, Nick, after the whole Nick thing last year, like, yeah, like, definitely, like, there's still a big issue they still need to figure out, so who else do they... I mean, hopefully that's a setup for another plot down the line, but who knows by this point. So Harper agrees to help her as long as she cooperates, which she does. Gray manages to destroys every piece of the Scar Guy's whole hostage arrangement. Nolan finally gets out of the handcuffs. So it seems to be game over for the guy, and he pulls the gun on Nolan. It's like, look, man, if I go back to prison, there's nothing... it's not a loss for me because I'm going to get chemo. But eventually he starts breaking down, and he starts, like, getting a little bit emotional. That, like, he only did this because he wanted to do one good thing for her before he dies, because there's absolutely no way he's going to survive on the outside without being able to afford this treatment. Eventually he does fall down, and he just, lets himself get arrested, ending the things. Nolan gets praised as a hero for handling the whole situation fairly well. And yeah, Nolan deserves some praise out of this. And it seems like everyone's starting to get good graces with Nolan again, especially Gray. Bradford and Chen immediately now focus their attention on Wes, since Wes was outside with Doug the entire day. And yeah, Wes also gives Chen some info that, like, yeah, we had a heated thing, so now things are really tense. Bradford's scared that, like, this could escalate to somewhere else, and people like Doug, they don't like being cornered. They need to continue to be who they are, or not to be at risk in anything. So Doug's going to try something. So I'm trying to figure out if we're going to figure out anything before I move on to the big thing. So... because we still had like 10 minutes left in the episode. I'm like, oh no. We just had a hostage situation. What more do you want from me, show? What more do you want? But we got more. So Doug and Wes are still back outside. It seemed like Doug was trying to still now play the good cop by like telling like Wes this like old-fashioned like way of like signaling end of a crisis, end of a situation by like clicking the radio 3 times, which a lot of other cops just did after Wes did it. Which I'm like, you cannot start painting a redemption story for Doug. We just had him about to beat up someone less than 20 minutes ago. We are not ready for a redemption story. So, while they're talking, they drive past this suspicious car with no plates. Doug doesn't want to immediately follow, since he doesn't want to get, Wes's daddy and the IA folks up his ass, but Wes is like, you know what, let's go after them. They don't have plates, so usually there's something suspicious up, especially with a car of that speed. So they go forth. They find him over to an apartment complex, which is notoriously shady, apparently, according to California law. I don't know California, so I really wouldn't know anything. Doug and Wes split up, which I'm like, oh no, this is not going to end the way it's going to be. Like, the suspense is, like, for me, it's like, who's going to be, like, is it going to be Doug that's going to get jumped, or Wes is going to be jumped? And sad to say it was Wes. Wes gets cornered by four of the dudes from the car. Wes immediately puts up a good fight, but it's just too much. 4 against 1. There's no chance. They just start beating him down. Doug is starting to come to this. It's like, okay, if this is how you start the redemption story for Doug, like, or maybe just starting like maybe another issue down the line. Like I was thinking like a lot of things that were gonna happen in this scene, like just seeing Wes getting beat up by these 4 dudes, and I was like, okay, either this is gonna go 2 ways. Doug's either gonna come in, save the day, begin his redemption arc, or he's going to shoot someone, and that's going to be that could just have some ramifications down the line. But no, he does the worst thing imaginable, and I swear to God, when this was happening, like, Doug, you are officially the biggest piece of shit on the planet. I'm sorry. He just leaves the West out there. He's not even contemplating. He's just like thinking for a second, like, this could be a way to like maybe silence West for good, or maybe to like something so that Doug can get back to normal. And I officially hate Doug. I really do. Like, he just leaves him alone. He just leaves him there. And then thankfully Bradford and Chen show up. Doug tries to play it off like, oh, I got separate from him. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, let's go find him. And they find Wes on the ground. Like, if they kill Wes off, I will officially be mad. I will officially be mad. But they start going around him. Doug's trying to play like, oh, what happened? Tell us who did this to you. And then Wes is like, camera. And then it turns out Doug's camera was on. They mentioned something. I forgot what the reason was, but basically, Doug's camera was on the whole damn time, including the part where he was hesitating and not assisting his fellow TL, his rookie. And Gray sees this footage, is like, that's it, that's the end. Doug is done. They take the gun, the badge, everything. Doug is done, and I'm like, fuck yes, let's go. Like, obviously, the way he said, like, he's not done yet. I really hope they bring him back just to see how this continues. Like, I know they said it's going to be a 4-episode thing, so this was the end of the original contract, but I'm like, I really hope they bring him back. Like, I want to see how this, like, progresses further. Like, I'm just curious. So they got him. Wes also asked the paramedics, like, hold on a bit, I want to see this moment. When they finally take Doug's gun away and, like, you know, they finally put him away, and, yeah, back at the station, Nolan and Harper are heading off to go see Jackson, you know, visit him. Nolan and Harper have another brief talk about, like, you know, where the future might go from here. Nolan is now more determined than ever after the whole Doug thing. He wants to start training good cops, meaning that he wants to be a TO, which I'm like, oh my God. Fuck yes. So you're telling me if we go to season 5 of Rookie or season 6 that we're going to see a new rookie? Like, no one's training the new rookie. I'm like, let's fucking go. Hashtag renew Rookie for season 4. ABC, come on, let's go. But however, Harper did say, like, you can be a TO in 2 years if you have a college degree. But if you don't have a college degree, you have to wait at least 4 years. So Nolan's like, I guess I'm going back to school. I'm like, oh my God, Nolan, you are a crazy man. What are you doing? So, at the hospital, Wes is visited by Gray. They have, like, a really heart-to-heart moment that Gray's, like, kind of feeling bad that it took Wes being nearly killed to put Doug away. Well, not Doug away, like, to take away the badge, but Wes did it because, like, he knows that was the right thing to do, and, like, that was, like, even though, like, it at the moment, it didn't seem like that was the right play. I don't think he actually planned that, but he knew, like, at least something good came out of this, and they managed to take the badge away from Doug. How will this continue? How will this proceed? I don't know. We'll see how this goes. But it's a good day. It's a victory. And was there anything else? I don't think there was anything else in this episode. I think that was it. Because I'm thinking, like, was there any other? But yeah, I think that was it. Yeah. So, yeah, Doug is gone. They did it. I don't know. I feel very satisfied. So overall, I really did enjoy this episode. I thought it was like a strong episode for the Rookie. They finally put an end to Doug. Hopefully that will be the end of Doug. That whole hostage situation, which I had a whole another funny title for this episode review, but I'm like, no, the one I'm sticking to is probably the better one. And yeah, so long, Doug. In the police department. Hopefully we'll see him again soon. You know, I just want to see how that thing goes. There's definitely a little bit more to play here. So, and they have said before that he could come back after this 4-episode run. So I'm very excited. And yeah, I am very excited for the Rookie's future. Now that we finished Doug, we can now move on to hopefully to new directions. And hopefully we'll see what else the other rookies have in store for their futures. So for me, I'm going to give this episode 2 thumbs up. And I think that's going to do it for me this week. So if you're unaware, this has been What's in the Tube from ActionX, reviewing every episode in the Rookie's 3rd season. If you want to know what we're doing overall and What's in the Tubes besides our Rookie Season 3 episode review, we're doing Nancy Drew Season 2 episode reviews each and every Thursday morning after a brand new episode on Wednesday nights on the CW, or free the next day on the CW app and thecw.com. We're also doing Walker episode reviews each and every Friday mornings after a brand new episode on Thursday nights on the CW, and then free the next day on the CW app and thecw.com. Nothing strange. I think this is the last full week for the run-up, because I think Walker goes on a hiatus next week, and then we're going to start being all wonky, so expect some more quick impression, but I'll talk about that later this week. But if you don't care about the Rookie, then you're in luck. I love saying this. We'll be back next week for the next episode review. Can't wait. It seems like we're going to focus more on now Chen's future post her rookie days, so I'm very excited to see how that's going to go. So we'll be back next week, Monday morning. So if you're on the way, again, this has been What's in the Tube from ActionX. If you want to see more of us, please subscribe to ActionX on YouTube.com. Ring the bell for notification when our next Rookie Season 3 episode review is live, which is every Monday morning. Like to share this review if you want to. It does help us out there. It does help us get us out there to people we have not yet touched upon in the Rookie fan base. Like, there's so many people that have not yet noticed us, and it does help us out a lot, as well as it's for free. Follow us on Twitter to be up to date on any sort of updates for anything on the channel. Follow us on Twitch when we're streaming. And for all of you in the Rookie Nation, I'll see you all next week for the next episode review. But until then, stay safe out there, be good to each other, and peace out.